Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tyler, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a Dragon Ball What If. We haven't done one of these since June, July? It's been a hot minute, and I apologize for that. But with that being said, we're going to be bringing back Dragon Ball What Ifs by starting off with what if Vegeta found Broly? And essentially this what if premise is, what if Vegeta found Broly before they went to Earth and, got all the Dragon Balls, etc, etc. Basically before the Saiyan saga. Now with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's just get straight into it, cut off the intro, and get right into the video. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoy, and, well, let's get right into it. Alright, so we start our story off around when Vegeta and Nappa would usually arrive at that weird bug planet they do in filler, but instead of going to this bug planet and Nappa destroying it, they actually head to Vampa, where they would eventually encounter Paragus and Broly. They're trying to discover any life they could possibly find, and this would then lead into Paragus just being blinded by rage because of what King Vegeta did to him, and so Paragus just supplied this to Prince Vegeta, and he would then tell Broly to strike at him. Now here Broly would be weaker than his canon self along with Vegeta, so I'm going to be saying here, we're just going to be using the movie scaling and applying it to Broly in this current form. So we're going to have Vegeta obviously being stronger than Broly, but he would still be strong in his own right and be able to kind of keep up. I'll just say that Vegeta's power level is at 18,000 like in canon, while Broly's is at 12,000. These two would be fighting while Nappa would be dealing with the likes of Paragus, which I'll just be saying when Broly notices that Nappa is, hurting Paragus or Paragus is about to die, Broly gets enraged, pushes Vegeta away, and kills Nappa in one blow. At this point, Broly would be getting constantly stronger due to his rage, and this would then lead into Vegeta resorting to the Great Ape transformation by throwing a ball of light, and then, burst open and mix, fucking ugly ass line, and then go Great Ape and body Broly. Not kill him, but knock him out. And this would then lead into Vegeta establishing to Paragus that he is not on King Vegeta's side and had no idea of this entire thing anyway. Vegeta is not his father, and his father is already dead thanks to the likes of Lord Frieza, who Vegeta works for. So, you know what, Paragus has nothing to really worry about. Paragus at this point would forgive Vegeta, and the reason why I'm saying Paragus would forgive him, because if not, Vegeta's just gonna die in this timeline, then, Frieza GG wins. And that would be kind of lame, so I'm going to be saying here that Paragus does forgive Vegeta. And Vegeta would then go on to explain to Paragus as to why he's here, and he didn't really mean to land here, but he actually wanted to go to Earth to get Dragon Balls so he can make a wish. And at that point, Paragus would actually wonder about these Dragon Balls and would hope to come for the ride, but there's only one other spare space pod left, and that would be Nappa's. And I would say here that Broly would go along, so Paragus doesn't really have any room. And Paragus at first would then say to Vegeta that he could just go in Vegeta's space pod, which Vegeta definitely doesn't want. But in the end, if he's going to bring Broly, he's going to probably need Paragus, since Paragus is the only one who can even tame this beast. So I'm going to be saying here Vegeta and Paragus three share warriors space would pod. Then make their way towards Earth. Around the same time span, Vegeta would arrive normally, and this would then lead into the Saiyan saga occurring, where we would have our Earth Z fighters already arrive onto the scene. And Vegeta, Broly, and Paragus meet up with the Z Fighters, who have located to a wasteland so no one would get hurt. And remember, in the original, Nappa was the one who destroyed the city. So here, I'm going to say no one destroys it. And the three warriors would then make their way towards the Z Fighters, where they would then begin combat, with Paragus actually coming in to be semi-useful, I guess, because his power level was at 4,000 in the original movie, but because he's younger, he would be stronger, and Nappa's original power level was 4,000. So Paragus might actually be low-key useful in this situation and help everyone out. But I think Paragus here would be overwhelmed by all the Z fighters attacking him at once, so Broly would be coming in to assist him while Vegeta watches, and Paragus, while controlling Broly, would actually be able to prove useful and take on the Z fighters pretty easily thanks to Broly's assistance. This would then lead into Chaozu sacrificing himself to try and, be useful, but this would reveal to be kind of useless, since this wouldn't even hurt Paragus or Broly, and this would then force Tien to using the Ki Koho, which would kill him. But at that point, we would then get Paragus almost getting caught by the Kienzon, but luckily Broly pushes him out of the way and Broly dodges it himself, due to him being massively above Krillin. And at that point, this would then lead into Broly trying to kill Krillin, but Krillin's just dodging all of his blows just barely, and not to mention Krillin is a lot more experienced than Broly because he's just a caveman while Krillin's an actual fighter. So Krillin is kind of running circles on Broly due to him having the skill advantage, but in terms of power, he's not going to really touch Broly, which is something that Krillin keeps a mental note of, and he would then tell this to Piccolo and Gohan, who would then come up with a plan to try and take out Paragus and Broly. At that point, Piccolo would then come up with a plan, and the plan would then be executed. Krillin would cast the solar flare, blinding the father-son duo, and Gohan and Krillin would then immediately rush behind their backs, shooting a Kamehameha Masenko duo at both of them, damaging them. Meanwhile, Piccolo is actually charging up, getting ready to shoot the special beam cannon. This would then lead into Broly and Paragus eventually being unblinded and trying to hit Krillin and Gohan, and the fact would then hit him that Piccolo hasn't really been fighting all this time and just has been kind of standing there, and they wonder what he's doing, and the second they try and turn over to see what he's up to, Piccolo is ready to fire. However, there are two targets that he can shoot, either Broly or Paragus, and honestly, Broly's a bigger threat than Paragus, and low-key, if they work together, they could probably take him out, so they could just get rid of Broly right then and there. So at that point, Piccolo tries to shoot the special beam cannon at Broly, and the smoke would clear, and it would be revealed that Broly actually ate the special beam cannon. Broly manages to take it through the chest, but it's not near his heart, it's on the opposite side of the chest, so Broly's going to be fine. All he has is just a hole in him. Piccolo would then be shocked to see Broly actually eat his strongest attack, and to even try and cast another one, he's going to need a lot more time, but now they don't really have that time. And by the way, this is after they wait for 3 hours and all that stuff occurring, because I feel like they would still wait for Kakarot, so Vegeta would give them 3 hours, but this is after that fact. So, it really does seem like they're about to kind of die here, and Broly and Paragus are just about to finish off the three of them, but in the nick of time, Goku would then intercept by using the Kaioken technique and kicking Broly away. As for Paragus, he intentionally went into his base form to then use pressure points to knock him out. Paragus would then fall to the ground due to exhaustion, and Broly would be extremely enraged considering the fact that he just saw his father go down to this man. But Vegeta would make sure that Broly knows that Paragus isn't dead. He's alive. However, this still drives Broly mad, and he would then tap into his Akari form, which doesn't really go well for Goku considering the fact that now Broly's at a power level of 120,000, and he can't control himself, which means when Vegeta even tries to calm him down, he gets thrown away as well. Vegeta understands what to do now, and he would then throw a power ball into the air and turn into a great ape, where he would actually be stronger than Broly, but Broly's getting constantly stronger, so Vegeta needs to finish it fast. He shoots a great ape beam while Broly shoots an omega beam at Vegeta, and the two then clash, with Broly getting a lot more powerful by the minute. Goku can't even come in and help because the second he gets into either of those two beams, he's going to disintegrate. This would then lead into Vegeta overpowering Broly and finishing him off, but not killing him. Vegeta would then revert back into his humanoid state and Broly would be knocked out, and this would then lead into Goku versus Vegeta, which would be easier for Goku and the Z Fighters here, considering the fact that Vegeta is fatigued. I'll just say Broly and Paragus are knocked out for the rest of the fight, and Vegeta escapes, with Broly and Paragus then waking up at around that point, and they would see Vegeta completely abandon them, and Paragus would then call Vegeta a liar, and Vegeta would then laugh saying "have fun on Earth," as he would then leave off, with Goku telling Krillin to spare him. This would then lead into Paragus and Broly and everyone else questioning to Goku as to why he did that, but Goku would still give the same reasoning as he did in canon, to have a good fight, and he wants to fight him alone and beat him alone someday. And so, this would lead into every one of the Z Fighters heading to the hospital, or the ones that are alive, which would also include Piccolo, but they would have to go to Namek still considering the fact that Chaozu already died before, so they're gonna go to Namek to revive Chaozu. And during this time, I'll say that Broly and Paragus live on Earth and actually are accustomed to the Earth life. That's really all they really can do. The one person they trusted, well, just left them to die, and these guys aren't going to kill them, so the best they can do is just kind of live on Earth and see what it's like up here. Not to mention, Goku could see in Broly's eyes, or when they were fighting, he saw in his eyes that Broly didn't really have too much intention of fighting, and he was kind of forced to be in that situation. So, Goku kind of respects Broly and respects his wishes, which would lead into Broly and Goku actually becoming friends. And I think if Paragus even tries to manipulate Broly in any way, shape, or form, I think Goku would just call him out on it, and Paragus would have no other choice but to kind of settle down and be nice to these guys. So, Paragus and Broly chill out on Earth for a bit, with Broly finally meeting some new friends, including people like Gohan and Krillin, who try to teach him about Earth life. And Gohan and Broly are actually very similar because they both don't want to fight. so it's nice to see Broly have someone who he can relate to. Now, like in canon, the original Namek team would then be set out, and this time Piccolo would be going along because he would want to see what his planet is like and where he comes from, since he isn't a demon. And when Piccolo found out about the fact that he isn't a demon, in fact he's actually a completely different race, he was completely shocked. So I think he would be curious as to know what his race is. So he would go out with Gohan and Krillin and Bulma, while Broly and Paragus stay back with Goku. And they would actually go when Goku goes to Namek, because Broly and Paragus are just kind of hanging around. And they're not trying to do any more space travel, because the last time they did that, it was just a bad idea. But Goku does recommend for Broly to come along because Goku could actually teach him. And Paragus isn't going to let Broly go all alone, so he's going to be accompanying Broly and training with Goku and Broly. They're gonna be training together? Yes, ding dong in the comment section, aka Lytro or Super Savage. Oh, but anyways, Goku, Broly, and Paragus would be training over the course of those few days they have up until they go to Namek. And that is where I'm gonna be leaving our story off. Our three heroes arriving at Namek, with Goku having a power level of 100,000, Paragus at 38,000, and Broly at 120,000. Anyways, that is where I'm going to be leaving our story off for right now, and in part 2, we will be going over what will change on Namek. And I will be going over what Piccolo did in Namek. Don't worry, I'm not just going to cut it automatically to Broly, Goku, and Paragus. I'm going to be first going over what happened with Piccolo being in the story, and then we're going to be skipping over with Broly and Goku and etc. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you are new. That way you are notified and updated every time I upload. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and join the Discord, links in the description, and be sure to like that video, or like the video if you guys like the video, and be sure to comment down below what other what ifs you guys would like me to do, or if you guys want me to do part 2, and be sure to share with your friends. And again, supporting the video does tell me that you guys want a part 2, so if this video is not getting that much support, I'm not going to be dropping part 2 in quite a while. But yeah, regardless of all that, have a nice and safe rest of the day. My name is Tyler. Peace out. Bye. Fuck this background noise.